baby, let's go. Alabama anthem. Go throw your hands up. Put up your onion. I ain't talking about Atlanta. I'm talking about the ham. I'm talking about the bill. A-L-A-B-A-M-A. This what I live. Alabama where I was born. Alabama where I'm from. Alabama anthem. Go throw your hands up. Put up your onion. I ain't talking about Atlanta. I'm talking about the ham. I'm talking about the bill. A-L-A-B-A-M-A. This what I live. Alabama where I was born. Alabama.
And we say, what's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard Sports Media, coming at you with Tidal Wave Talk. Sorry, man. I'll tell you what, I'm recording this on a Thursday, and I hope everyone's had a good week. I haven't really gotten much out this week, not very many live streams. I've kind of been focused on school. You gotta get your priorities straight in life sometimes, you know. That's just kind of life. That's part of being an adult. That's kind of how it is. And I'm sorry that I haven't really posted that much this week ever since um, really last Saturday, which we'll get into that just a little bit. We'll mention it. Last Saturday, history was made as the Tennessee Vols stopped the Alabama Crimson Tide for the first time since 2006, 52-49 with a last second field goal, and Tennessee wins. Impressive. I give them credit. I'm not going to take anything away from that. But when you look at it from Alabama's perspective, when you look at it like that, there's some things they got to clean up. They got to clean that defense. The offense looked phenomenal. They put up 49 points, but they gave up 52. I would expect them to have a bounce back week this week against Mississippi State. That being said, let's go ahead and get into the matchup. Let me see. Share screen right here. So, Alabama with a 90.8% chance to win. You can round that up to 91. And that leaves Mississippi State with a 9% chance, 9.2% chance to win this game. Is it even going to be close? I mean, Mississippi State's looked okay this year. They got a good record, 5-2. That's not bad. They're one win away from being bowl eligible. I think they're going to get bowl eligible. They entered the rankings this week at 24. Mike Leach is doing some big things with this program. He's doing some big things this year. When you look at it, you got Will Rogers this year with over 2,000 yards throwing. He's got a 71 completion percentage. He's taken 9 sacks. He's got 4 picks. He's got 23 touchdowns. Got to clean up that offensive line. They got a good running back in Dylan Johnson, who's got 407 yards on the ground. He's got 3 rushing touchdowns. His longest rushing play of 40 yards. Look at the defense. Jet Johnson. That's a cool name, Jet. 67 tackles. Emmanuel Forbes, the corner, with 5 interceptions. He leads the team. Watch some guys on this field: Nathaniel Watson, Cameron Richardson, Colin Duncan, Jalen Green, Tyrus Wheat, Emmanuel Forbes, I mentioned. Watch guys like that in this ball game that could be disruptors for Alabama. And I say that lightly. I think it's going to be one of those games where more so, you can put it like this if you want to and say that Mississippi State doesn't have what it takes to compete with Alabama like Tennessee did, like Texas early on. You could say that, but when you look at it on the other side, um, it's one of those where how do I want to put this? You could say Mississippi State doesn't have what it takes, but it's also Alabama coming off a loss. Don't mess with that. Don't mess with Nick Saban after a loss. He comes off a loss. He's mad. He's ticked off. He's hyped up. These boys are ready to go. You look at Alabama, too, by the way. I think their defense is still phenomenal and one of the best. I know they gave up 52 points to Tennessee in the loss last week, but, you could also look at Tennessee's offense. Maybe it's the best in the nation. One of the best, definitely. Is it that good that they just put up 52 points on Alabama's defense? Or did Alabama truly have some struggles? I think it's a bit of both. I would not doubt that at all. You look at what Alabama has, by the way, speaking of players, Bryce Young is back and healthy. I thought he looked good against Tennessee. He looked like his old self going out there, right? Um, you got Jahmyr Gibbs with 635 rushing yards. Go back to Bryce Young for a second. I apologize. He's over 1,000 yards throwing. He's got 67 completion percentage, 16 touchdowns, 3 picks. He has taken 6 sacks. That does not sound like Bryce Young to me. This offensive line has got to play great this week against a good front seven of Mississippi State, I think. So I got to clean some things up on the offensive line for Bryce Young. Moving forward with Alabama here, Ja'Cory Brooks is our lead receiver this year so far. 302 receiving yards, 18 receptions, 4 touchdowns. He leads the team in touchdowns. Actually, he's really tied with Trayshawn Holden, who has 243 yards, 4 touchdowns, his longest play of 33 yards. Kobe Prentice, I'd watch a guy like that. I'd watch Jermaine Burton. I'd watch Cameron Law too. Isaiah Bond, JoJo Earl, I think is still dealing with injury, but I've actually heard some experts recently say that there's good reports on him. There's a lot to watch with Alabama's offense, and it's not just Jahmyr Gibbs in the run game. You got Jace McClellan too. He's got 48 rushing attempts for 303 yards. His longest play of 81. He's got 3 rushing touchdowns. I told you guys, I said it's going to be a 2-headed monster, 3-headed monster type of situation with the running back game this year. It's not just Jahmyr Gibbs, although he does get most of the reps and most of the snaps. Alabama can just plug and play whoever they want to at running back at this point. I think everyone's pretty capable of doing their job and going out there and competing and playing very well. You look at the defensive side of Alabama, Jordan Battle, of course, looking really good. DeMarco Hellams with 1 interception on the year leads the team. But I mentioned Jordan Battle, of course, Will Anderson and Jalen Moody and Henry To'oTo'o, the linebacking core trio right there, looking really good. Byron Young, Jaheim Otis. These are some names you could possibly hear in this game. You look at the sacks. Will Anderson leads the team in sacks with 5. Jalen Moody's got 2. Chris Broswell, however you say his last name. I don't know how you exactly pronounce it. I think it's Broswell. 1.5 sacks for him. He's got 12 total tackles, 4 on his own, 8 assists. There's a lot in total. Let me tell you what this defense has done. They have 471 total tackles as a unit. As a unit, 19 sacks, 129 sacks yard loss, 3 interceptions, 1 touchdown. There's a lot. Now this is, on defense, like it's still very young, but it's still very good too. I like guys out there like DJ Dale. I think one of my favorites and one of the more underrated guys to watch is, well, there is DJ Dale, but Justin Eboigbe, I think is having a pretty good season. He's got 5 solo tackles, 6 assists, 11 total. He's pretty good there. Kool-Aid McKinstry, of course, on the back end with 19 total tackles. He has a sack for a loss of 12 yards. He's defended 7 passes. We're waiting on Kool-Aid to get a pick. We're waiting on Kool-Aid McKinstry to have that moment. We're waiting on him to have an interception, maybe a fumble recovery. Overall, Alabama, here's the thing. This is what I'll say about this game. I want to make this one quick on you guys. It's not even close. I don't want to discredit Mississippi State. I don't want to do that. But it's Alabama. I know they just lost to Tennessee. Tennessee might lose to Georgia coming up soon. Tennessee might lose a couple games coming soon. I don't know. We don't know what Tennessee is going to look like after beating Alabama. We'll just have to watch and see. What I do know is Nick Saban. He takes a loss. He bounces back. He doesn't rebuild, he reloads. I know deep down this team is built for a championship. If they have all the pieces and everyone gives 110%. And you could sit there and say, oh, well, isn't that any team in the nation? Sometimes not really. That's not really the case. But this Alabama unit, absolutely. They're favored by 21 points in this game. The over-under is 61. I don't know about the over-under. Now, do I take Alabama in the points? Considering they're coming off a big loss to Tennessee after what their defense just did, and you take in the fact that the offense was clicking very good with Bryce Young being back, I absolutely take Alabama in the points. I think they could cover 21. I think that's a good possibility. We'll have to wait and see and find out. But I think this could be a big win for the Crimson Tide. That being said, it's time to get into our prediction. I'll go ahead and I'll give you the score prediction. Most of you probably expect a blowout. I think the question is, how bad is Alabama going to win? I'm going to say 41-17. I'm going to give it to them this way. Does Alabama cover? They are 1 touchdown shy. I got them by, do the math, is that 14 points? Hold on. Actually, let me get my calculator here. What do I got them at? That's not 14. 24? So maybe they do cover it with my score prediction. Let me see. 41 minus 17. 24. Yeah. So I got them covering. I think if you're looking to bet on this game, and I'm no expert on betting, don't take my advice. But I'm going to tell you what to do anyway. Take Alabama and lay the points. They're going to cover this spread. Mississippi State. I think Mississippi State is they're at the right time. They're doing okay. You know, they have some good wins. Great offense. Great offense, man. Hard to stop. But I think Alabama, I think they're too much for Mississippi State and Will Rogers, right? I'm not saying that Mississippi State can't put points up. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying Alabama, after a loss, goes into the next game guns blazing. They go out there firing on all cylinders, and they could be dangerous. They could be scary. They could be good. That's it for this edition of Tidal Wave Talk. Week 8, Mississippi State at Alabama. Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe right here to Ballard Sports Media for more sports content. Comment your score predictions too. And we will see y'all next time. Until then, Ballard Sports Media checking out. Love you guys. Peace out. Hi, baby. Let's go.
Alabama anthem. Go throw your hands up. Put up your onion. I ain't talking about it later. I'm talking about the ham. I'm talking about the deal. A-L-A-B-A, you make this what I live. Alabama while I was born. Alabama where I'm from. Alabama anthem. Go throw your hands up. Put up your onion. I ain't talking about it later. I'm talking about the ham. I'm talking about the deal. A-L-A-B-A, you make this what I live. Alabama while I was born. Alabama.